Hey, Sean. I told everybody that Todd is running late, so um that he'll be here shortly. How are you this morning? If you talking, I can't hear you, Sean.
Yeah, I was saying that we had to go get that burr.
Yeah. Said you drunk all his beer.
I believe it was my burr. But here you go.
Okay.
When did you put the nut out?
Yes. Oh, you talking about, well, only 5 people are on the Zoom so far, so
No, because y'all bull crap.
whatever.
It must have been five only. It must have been only been five winners last week. Hey, Elfie, did you sent me some messages and you deleted the messages? What's up with that?
Well, you decided not to answer, so I figured.
Well, I mean, I was looking. It said I had messages, and when I looked at it, it said delete, delete, delete. So what was if I don't answer at a certain time, they delete.
I figured you were busy, so.
What was the question?
Okay. I am in EA selling it, and it was retracing.
Mm-hmm.
So my question really was about the moving averages. I think on the 4 hour.
Uh-huh.
And it looked like, because I remember you saying that when the red one is on top of the green one, that means it's going to sell. Or it's selling.
That's true, but you got to remember those are delayed. They're not they're lag indicators. So
right.
It must have meant that it was selling already. Was the price on top of the moving average or below it?
Wait, hold on.
Elfie should be your first person to talk about her trades, Todd.
Mm-hmm.
It was like right in between. The candles were kind of crossing.
They crossed the moving average?
Yes, like you can't really, like you
do
see.
You want to share your screen?
I have this, I made a screenshot of it on my phone.
Oh, you're on your phone. You're not on your
No,
laptop.
on my iPad with the Zoom, but the screenshot that I sent you was on my phone.
Well, I didn't get a screenshot. I mean, you deleted it, but if you still share your screen, you can still show us.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay. So, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your.
So this is the shot that I sent you.
So that looks like it's above the moving average. See how the price is rejecting at the moving average?
Why would you say it's above it when I'm not sure?
Well, do you see the tail of the last candle?
Of the red candle, yes.
Yeah, so it's above the moving average, right?
Okay. I agree, yes. Now I do.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the way I would look at that. That's gonna go up. If I look at this chart now, that would be my bias for the price to go up. Do you agree with that? Like, do you see the same thing?
Well, this is what was happening at the time when I sent the screenshot to you.
Did the price go up?
It didn't go that much, it didn't go up that much further. Because as you see, it's like 2 hours left on it, right?
Oh, okay.
So I did in the trade and I was in the sell, so it went into drawdown, and the hedge that I had before, I had already closed it out. So I was in quite a bit of drawdown, but for some reason I felt like it's going to sell because it gotta sell. It just,
So what's the bigger picture? Like show more.
Okay. Where is my trade view? So you can see my screen, yes?
Yes.
All right, so the bigger picture is that
What time frame is this? The week? Okay.
this is the monthly right now. And we are bearish on the monthly.
I don't think we're bearish in the month.
Why not?
Okay, so talk me through what happened. Price came from down there. You got those blue candles that went through the moving average, right?
Yes.
Then this last candle, it retested the moving average, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's this current month. So I mean, there's nothing on this chart that tells me that we're going to sell. You know, if anything, I would expect for us to get another blue candle next month, according to this, the way the chart is set up right now, right? Now, if you go to the 2 month, if you type 2M, maybe it shows something different. I don't know, but
I can't do that on my iPad.
yeah, I would think that if you went to the 2 month, you would still see a bullish order block, and then you would get a small candle. So, like this candle would be tapping into a bullish order block. So I think that if I'm looking at this, nothing says it's bearish. So go to the daily. So in this kind of this picture right here, I would fib that up move and the pullback, right?
Okay, hold on.
From the last.
I'm going to remove my drawings, I guess. Hold on. Remove. And.
Yeah, I don't see any drawings. I just see.
From here.
Yeah, I would fib from there to the where it went, and then the pullback. See, the pullback is at 61.8. Maybe it comes back to 78.6, maybe. But I would still be biased for this thing to go up afterwards, because if you look at this chart from the way it sits right now, it looks like that's a swing low right there, right?
Where I have my 100%.
Yeah, you know, or the 78.6, the body of that candle, and you look at the bodies of those other candles, it's a swing low. If you look at the wicks, it's swing low. So I'm not, I wouldn't say that this is going to push further down, you know. It looked like it pushed down, and you know, it's going back up, and you get a pullback here. Now you go to the 4 hour.
But how come you're not telling me to go to the weekly? Because I think on the weekly it's giving us.
Well, I thought we looked at the weekly.
No, it was monthly earlier.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go to the weekly. Bearish order block, right? So we can still go down and probably see the 78.6. But price is still above your moving average. So you know, when you sell this, like if we take a sell on this next week, we have to watch for that price to bounce and go back up. You know what I'm saying?
Because price is above the moving averages in general?
Yes. Okay. The candles have not closed below the moving average. So I'm not saying you can't sell this pair, but when you sell this pair, you have to sell it with an understanding that you're not safe. Like, this is not a safe sale where you just set it and forget it. This is a trade that you have to monitor because it's at an area that it can reverse on you pretty easily. You know what I'm saying?
So because
I would feel comfortable. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, because we're moving towards the moving average, that would basically kind of be like a counter trend trade, or?
Well, no, if you look at this, the trend is up, right? The trend on this weekly chart is clearly up, right? That's the moving averages. The green is on top of the red. It's telling you that the trend is up, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a sell is counter trend because it's going against what you see on this chart. Now you can still see an imbalance. There's a big blue candle that has an imbalance in it, right? You see it?
Yes.
And you can make an argument that maybe price is going back to fill that imbalance. And I don't dispute any of that, right? Yeah. I don't dispute that it could go back and fill the imbalance. But what I would tell you is you can't just sell this blindly saying, oh, it's going to this imbalance, because it might or it might not. It might just go to the 78.6. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes. Okay.
So you just have to monitor these trades. There's nothing wrong with taking trades for a shorter time period. Even though you're a swing trader or we're in the swing trader group, it's nothing wrong with you shorting this, but it's something wrong with you shorting it like thinking that it's just going to sell all week, because that's where we get ourselves in trouble. When the price is around these moving averages, if you notice, a lot of these times you're getting rejections, or it goes past it, it pulls back. So you just have to monitor your trade, when it's in those areas. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay. Okay, now go to the floor, or am I done?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of use today to kind of build on what we did last week. Does everybody remember what we did last week? Hello?
Alicia was
Yes, we
doing.
remember.
Yeah, we had to log in and show our trade setups.
Right.
Well, a few persons had to set up.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get different people this week. But my if we had to take the same people, it is what it is. But the people who share and the people who actually go through this process are going to be the people who actually make the strides, in their trading, because they're going to gain a better understanding of what happened and what could have happened or what should have happened, right? So who wants to share, win or lose, trades that you've taken? One trade that you took last week. Share it, talk, walk us through the setup, show us what you saw, and show us what you expected.
Give me 1 minute, I can help, okay?
Okay. Anybody? Bueller. Anybody?
Okay, I can.
Sweet Jesus.
I guess there.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I guess I'm gonna. Well, I just deleted all my drawings on EA, but let me go back.
Did anybody take GF? Yep, we can't read that.
You can read one.
C. Gibbon, Aaron, Bill Shum,
Oh,
free.
okay. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right, so let me think and see. I guess. Well, so I wanted to get into GJ. I think on, was it Tuesday or one of these days? And I was late to the party and left the building. So I figured, okay, let me look for something else. So I figured, okay, we had on EA, we had the bearish order block from 2 weeks ago, which actually, whatchamacallit, retraced into it.
So can you show us the bearish order block from 2 weeks ago?
I'm talking about this one.
Can you like put a box around it so everybody kind of understands? So you mean to tell me you traded that order block even though it was 2 weeks old?
Yeah, because I thought that it was gonna go down now.
Look, I mean, you can do that. Everybody should understand that you can do that. It is still valid. Price
I'm trying
broken.
if I could do replay here. No, I can't. I don't think I can. Yeah, and I think at the time I also saw that the moving averages were even lower than they are now. So I figured that it would retrace into the moving averages.
Like further down than it did.
Well, I guess into them. But yeah, I am still kind of expecting it to sell.
Well, I think it is going to sell at least to that second moving average, but there are no guarantees beyond that. And this is why, in my opinion, this pair wouldn't be one of my favorites to take a trade on because it's not giving me enough room to comfortably take a trade. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you can get you might get maybe 60 or 70 pips. You might get 150 pips, but if you look at the chart, you're not guaranteed either of those moves. So that's why this wouldn't be one of my favorites to trade. If I just was looking for a trade and I had to trade something, I could get in this for a trade and maybe trade it down, look to trade it down this coming week. But it would just be difficult to sell myself on this particular trade, because of where it is. It's sitting in the weekly order block or bearish order block. It gives you another bearish order block, which gives you a little confidence, but it's at the moving average. So it's been rejecting that moving average for how many weeks?
1, 2, 3, 4, about 4.
Yep. So, it hasn't went up past there and it hasn't went down past it. It's been a month, so the people who benefit from pairs like this are the people who trade the lower time frames. Maybe you trade it on the 15-minute and you can make a lot of money going back and forth, right? But if you trade it on the higher time frames, then maybe as soon as your trade gets going one direction, it turns and goes back the other direction. So you just kind of have to understand what you're looking for out of this pair. If you're trying to get a long range trade, it just might not ever happen. Not until it actually breaks up or down from here.
Okay, so in your eyes, it's actually ranging in a small top and bottom area. Yes?
Yeah,
Is that what?
in my opinion, this wouldn't be a favorite. But I mean, you took a trade, you can still set your trade up and talk us through your trade. You know what I'm saying? Like your thought process, what you saw.
So I went to the well, Hold on 1 second. Because I think I cannot use replay over here.
You can't use it?
No, I'm going to get on my whatchamacallit laptop and switch real quick. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm. All that money. You got laptops, iPads, phones. Girl rich. Girl rich.
Not like you. Trying to get there.
I'm hungry. My back. Oh, man.
Fitness for you.
Did anybody else take trades this week? Hello? Hey, Tasha, did you take trades? Alicia, did you take trades?
Not this week, no. I reviewed, I had some markup, but no, this was a very busy week for me. Thought you took an interest on Thanksgiving?
No.
Recording in progress.
I ain't effing. I thought I'd reach out.
Okay. Share screen. No.
How was everybody's holiday?
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so I'm going to replay mode. What was this right here? Why did I take this trade? I don't even remember.
That ain't a good thing.
To be honest with you, I don't think I can like explain what I was thinking and what I did. But I came out in the blue. I'm still in the blue.
You
But
say
I'm
you
still
can't explain what you were thinking?
I don't think I can right now, no.
Why?
After all this.
Do you have a
technical.
journal? Do you have a journal? Trade journal?
I do, but I didn't write that.
So this is an important thing, like for really everybody. If you're not journaling your trade,
Yes.
you're doing yourself an injustice. I mean, it's really not a big deal if you win to most people, but if you lose, there's no way for you to go back and get a complete understanding of what went wrong because you didn't journal. You didn't journal what you saw before. You didn't journal what time frame the setup was on. You didn't journal any of them. You didn't journal what was going on in your personal life, you know, whether you just got in an argument with somebody or whatever. So you're skipping out on an opportunity that may help change your trading for the better. And you know, I can't stress enough that when you start finding success, you want to know what it is that makes you successful. And if you understand what it is that makes you successful, you know, while you're trading, you can duplicate it. But if you just accidentally luck up and get a trade correct, you're not going to be able to duplicate, you know, everything that you put into that process. So,
Sure.
you know, I would just encourage you to journal, even though you kind of have an idea of what you want to see. I want to see an order block on the weekly. I want to see the same order block on the 4 hour. Then I can get my entry, you know, but there's a little more to it. You know, you can take it a step further, and then you can start really taking your trading to the next level.
Agree. True.
This is the first time coming back later. They were really impressed with us or something like that.
All right. Did anybody else take trades last week?
I traded GJ Coach, but I mean, I could show my chart, but my main chart is locked up under my work email address, so I don't have my pro account.
Well, just show you can show the main chart. You can go to did you get your entry on the 4 hour, or did you get your entry on a different time frame?
I got it on the 4 hour.
Okay. I mean, then just show you show the chart. I mean, you can still talk us through it. I think the important thing is for everybody to see, you know, see the setup. We see it on the weekly. We understand how to drop down, and maybe you see it on the 4 hour, you know, maybe you don't. But in order to better understand what happened, you know, people need to see it, you know. So start on the weekly, if you will. Okay, then talk us through the setup here.
Well, basically, I know we've been looking at GJ for a little while, and we were expecting for it to buy, and we knew it was going to retrace as well. Basically.
So why did we expect it to buy? I'm sorry, I'm going to get kind of basic because I know it's people on the call that must not understand. Why were you looking for this to buy?
I was just basically following the trend.
Okay, can you go back to the weekly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if everybody can erase the last candle in their mind, right? You can erase the last candle, what happened last week. We had a bullish order block. And the thing that we liked about the setup is we got this bullish order block at the trend line, which is a pretty strong indication that we were going to buy this past week, right? Did everybody see that?
Yes.
So that was the thought behind the setup for the weekly move to the upside. Okay, Isha, you said you don't see it. I'm gonna share my screen so I can break this down, because I know some people don't understand. Okay, Angie.
Okay.
And then I'll let you finish. You know, talking us through it or whatever. All righty. Okay, I appreciate the honesty about not seeing it, because everybody needs to be on the same sheet. So if you look at this pair, right? You have the price action that's moving through here. Price came from down here, it pushed up, it pulled back, right? Now it's pushing back up. This pullback came to our moving averages, right? Moving averages are a tool that assist us in understanding the direction that the market is going, right? We have this green line above the red line. That means the market is trending to the upside. So this pullback was just a pullback from this move, right? We got the strong move up. You have to get a retracement, which exactly what happened. And then we got this bullish order block right here. This is what the market looked like last week. We had this is a bullish order block. We expected for the market to keep pushing to the upside because we got this bullish order block right at the trend line. That's a pretty strong indication that the market was going to continue going up, right? So I don't want to steal Angie's thunder, but she said she expected sell first, right? And what we do, or what I do, is I'll normally put a fib on this last weekly candle. And this fib, I mark up my golden zone, my 50%. And you know, it's in between the 50% line and the 61.8 line. That's the golden zone. So I made an annotation of where the golden zone was, and that's my starting point. I kind of want to see price push down to the golden zone and then buy up, right? It doesn't always have to reach the golden zone, but as a trader, you kind of understand that that's where the institutional money will get involved when you have a good pullback. So when the market opens up on Sunday, what you want to see on this 4 hour is you want to see a bearish move. Now, we know the market is going to push up because there's a bullish order block. We know it's going to push up first, but we want to see it pull back. Once it pulls back, we can look for an entry either to sell it down, right? Or we can look for our entry to buy it up. I like to sell it down first before I buy it up, especially if it's like 100 pips. In this case, it's like 130 pips. So, you know, the thought process is you can sell it down. Maybe you can get your 10%. If it goes down 100 pips, you can make 10%, and you're done trading for that week. It's an easy week. But maybe you don't catch all of the move and you just get into the move buying up. And if you get into the move from anywhere from down in this area, you know, you can see the pip count. You know, if it goes back up here, that's 245 pips. So that's the thought process behind the trade. So now that we have a bias and we have a thought process behind the trade, now we have to wait for the trade to set up, right? We have to wait to get our confirmations from the things that we see on this chart. So when we see this bearish order block, right? Okay, so this is what happened. We got the bearish order block. Now, the bearish order block didn't break our moving averages. Remember, you feel a lot more safe if this candle closes below this moving average, right? Does everybody understand that? But I personally would have just hopped in the trade at this point because I'm not, you know, my goal is to try to make my money. And when I put this measurement tool, right, I'm telling myself I can hop in the trade when this candle first opens up, and I can have a 46 pip stop loss to the top of this candle and feel pretty good about my trade pushing down. I don't care how much money I make. I just want to make some money as it pushes down, you know, and then when it turns around, I'll make the real money. This will be my my thought process behind this. So I would want to enter this trade, whenever I teach beginners how to do this, I always tell you to enter the trade, wait until you get tapped in at the order block, right? So if you're a beginner, maybe you get into this trade, maybe you don't, right? But for me, see how it went up? I would have lost this trade, right? And which is fine, but you would have lost the trade because this didn't close below the moving averages. Now, I don't use a stop loss. I use a hedge. So I would be in the red 1%. But I would feel a lot better about myself because now I know that when it pulls back, so if this price pulls back from here, now I have 166 pips to make my money versus, the 120 some pips or whatever. So we're going to keep playing. We'll keep playing it out. I want it to break. And it's not breaking. So at some point, you have to make a determination. You say, okay, it's not coming down. It's just going to buy, right? So maybe at this bullish order block, or let's say you didn't pull the trigger at this bullish order block, you have to pull the trigger at one of these, this order block, maybe this order block, that, hey, it's not going to retrace. It's just going to buy. So you could put your buy position in and just take it from here to the top side. Did everybody see that? If we go to you can't really go to the weekly from here because the weekly is just going to show the move that already happened. But at this point, you have to be looking, because I want to say we're probably a day in, right? This is probably that day. But at this point, you have to tell yourself, we're not going to break any further down, right? Like we've probably went up at this point. We've already went up 127 pips. So really, this order block, we should have changed our bias. Like it's not going to sell. It's just going to keep mine. Because if you think about this, we got the bearish order block. We got faked out. We got this big bullish candle. You got one order block, two order block, 3, 4. It ain't, I would be buying this if I had taken this trade on that first day. Y'all understand that? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Anybody?
Can I ask a question? So when we went back to the beginning of this trade and at the initial order block, and you said that it wasn't below the moving averages, but you felt comfortable enough to get in. And in all transparency, for me, that's where I got in for the sale. And this is where I messed up. So I appreciate.
Wait.
Let me.
So you got in for the sale here?
You're on the weekly, so I can't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, wait.
On the 4 hour, I got in on that order block that you
right
said.
Here.
Yes.
Okay. I would have gotten in here too. Did you hedge?
I'm sorry, I hit the mute button. I did hedge,
Okay.
but I messed up my hedge because my hedge wasn't the same lot size
Okay.
as my initial entry.
So we already talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if your hedge was the same size, you'd have been good. It'd have gave you a bullish order block. You could have bought, right?
Yeah.
You'd have been good. This crossover right here would have told you to close your buy trade. And you could have either sold it, right? Or you could have just waited and see if it's going to cross back over for the buy. But this crossover is everything. Now it's selling. Now it's telling you that it's selling, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is the first close below this moving average. This is the first close below the moving average. So everything else would have told you to go bullish. You could have made, your money back, even on this hedge right here. You could have made over 1% in this up move right here. I mean, you'd have made over that 1% back that you were down. That's 156 pips that this thing ran at. 160 pips. So in this 160 pips, you know, more than likely you'd have made your 10%. Even starting 1% in the hole, right? Because this huge candle right here, you were 1% in the hole. You get a pullback, you already see that it's a bullish. Now you're going bullish. You get your pullback right here. Now you're in bullish. So you would have made, I mean, there's no way you wouldn't have made back your 1% in this sum, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you finish doing that, I remember you talking about that that GJ. Did you get out of GJ completely?
You talk.
Yeah, I completely got out of it. I completely got out of it because everything was messed up at that point. My psychology and everything.
Psychology was messed up, but the trade wasn't messed up.
No, I was out of it because I was out of it because, like I said, my hedge wasn't as big as my initial entry. So I continued, when I saw those bullish order blocks, I continued to put in buy positions to offset that sell position. And by the time I got enough buy positions in, I still was upside down in my my sell position. So mistake number one, my hedge should have been the same size as my initial entry.
So, but I want you to just stick with this trade because you have to see now that you went 160 pips to the upside. You get this bearish order block that you can't use, right? Because it's still at your moving average. Now you get this bearish order block. You can sell at this point. It pulls back, you can sell, right? Mm-hmm. You understand that?
Yeah.
So even if you had sold, you would be at break even right now. Let's just watch and see what this price does. Rejection at the moving averages, which saying that it's going to sell. Now you're getting your pullback. So you could be selling this at this point. Well, now you get it close and now you can't sell it. You got to buy it. You could have still made your money on this move after you lost that 1%. You would have made money on this 160 pips up. You would have made money on this pullback, or even if you just broke even on that pullback, you'd have been good to go. And this is Thanksgiving, so you wouldn't have traded Thanksgiving. But to me, there's no way you could have lost, even on the 4-hour chart. I think you gave up on the trade because your psychology was bad. But seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 bullish order blocks on the 4-hour, right? And for the people who are, I guess, good enough to utilize the 15-minute, like drop down and use the 15-minute, the 15-minute probably provided you, at least 10 other opportunities where you could have taken this trade to the upside. And, if you're savvy and you see these bearish order blocks on the 4-hour, if you're savvy enough to drop to the 15-minute, you probably could have made a killing to the downside. That has to be close to 100 pips. It's 111 pips. So it's hard for me to look at this trade and see loser. You know what I'm saying? Even on this 4-hour, even on the 4-hour chart, because if you just play the moving average game, right? If you just played the moving average game, this trade right here, you got fooled. I would have got fooled too. But here's your recovery right here. There's the start of your recovery. There's a pullback to the moving average. You would have bought, right? All this is buy. Like to me, there's no way you shouldn't have made whatever percentage you were pursuing. If it was 5, 10, you could have made whatever percentage through here. Then when it crosses over, I'm not even counting the pullback from way up here. This is 100 pips from here, 111 pips from here to here. Easy. So I get it. You know, a lot of us are still new. So, you know, don't beat yourself up if you don't see it. But an exercise like this kind of helps you hone your skills, right? And this is the reason that you would have put a, you know, your hedge needs to be equal because you never know what's going to happen, especially around these moving averages. That's why it's so crucial to use your moving averages, you know, and don't take a sell trade until it closes below the moving average. You know, I would have cheated here. I got it, you know, but if you're new to this, you know, this right here is a clear close below your moving average. You get a pull back to your moving average, you hop in, and there's your pips. Boom. Easy money, man. It's just a matter of you understanding what you're looking for, right? Like you have to have in your mind, you have to have an understanding of what you want to see on the chart. And if you don't journal or if you don't do this back testing, then you'll never kind of understand it. But now that you've taken this trade, Selena, and you see it with a clear mind, hopefully you have an understanding of where you went wrong. We know you went wrong on having the hedge not the same size. But I want you to think about this. Let's just say the hedge was at the same size. Once this big candle finished, right? You're down 1%, but we're way above the moving average. You get this pullback, right? Even though it's wick, you don't jump in for the buy here. You're not buying this.
Oh, I would have jumped in for the buy, but for me, the thing that messed me up, and I did go down to 15-minute once I saw the bearish order block, but what messed me up, I could not manage to trade well once I put in that bad hedge position. And then that's where it messed me up. Because if I would have had the same lot size, once my hedge activated, I wouldn't even care it anymore. I'm like, okay, my hedge is activated. That's 1% loss. Keep it moving. Then when I saw that bullish order block, I would have put in an entire new entry and wrote it up. But I didn't follow the rules of putting in that same lot size. So I'm trying to fight. And that's where I messed up.
Right. But even after that, Selena, even when you messed up and you finally got your hedge equal to your other position, you were down probably more. You were down more than 1%. I don't know what you were down.
Oh, a lot.
Oh my God. So I mean, at that point, you could have just closed out and wait for next week to trade. Right? If you lose more than 2%, you should be done anyway. But if it was somewhere between 1% and 2%, right? You throw your hedge in to make it equal. Now you look for your opportunities. Here, these bullish order blocks are your opportunities to get back in for the buy. So this bullish order block, you drop down to the 15-minute and get your entry on the 15-minute. It's probably a 10 pip stop loss. You know, you probably could have had a 10 pip stop loss somewhere in here. You know, with a 10 pip stop loss, and you get 100 pips, that's still a 10% gain. So you would have made 8% that week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. Now,
so, well,
I mean, I understand once I went back and looked at it, but you know what I'm saying? That's why I say, you know, the journaling part, I wrote down what I was thinking and while I did it. But when I go back, when I back tested and I'm like, this is the 4 hour, how did I go so wrong on, but that's what I'm saying. It was that initial hedge that I put in, and then I'm throwing in, because I think matter of fact, I had 2 sell positions in based off of the 15-minute. And so, and then I should have, like, my first hedge should have covered both of those sales positions.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. Yeah. Your hedge has to replace your stop loss, right? I mean, it's like you just got in a trade with no stop loss.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, it has to be equal to your position. But people are going to make mistakes. once you make your mistake, though, your go-to needs to be to equalize those positions. As soon as you realize, hey man, I made a mistake, you got to hedge it equal. That's the first move. Then you look at your chart and you can figure out, okay, this is a buy. All I got to do is drop down to the 15-minute and get me a position to buy this thing up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I had a lot of buy positions in, but it was still fighting,
Well,
equalize that hedge.
Was your buy position based on a 15-minute order block?
No, my buy position was based off of the
Based off of what?
yeah, it had to be based off of 15-minute order.
Well, no, it didn't. No, it didn't. It could have been based off your emotions. What was your buy position based off of? Look in your journal. Should be in your journal.
Because it was turning around.
Okay. It was because it was turning around where? Where? What chart was turning around?
I was on the 15-minute. After I got my bearish order block on the 4-hour, I went down to the 15-minute. After
Bearish.
I get my order
You're
block.
talking bearish. I'm talking bullish.
The first entry, that's what I did. Okay, so for the bullish order blocks,
here's the first bullish order block.
Yep. And that's when I got in.
Okay.
Yep.
So
and then I thought,
did you get another position at this? Did you get another position here? Did you get another position here? Like where did you?
I kept adding buy positions to offset that.
Okay, let's talk about it. Because if you got to
But
buy
on Thursday, Todd, you're too far over.
Let me erase this. Let me go to the 4-hour. Okay, these first 4 15-minute candles aren't going to count.
Mm-hmm. So long as it stayed below that bearish order block to the left, I was like, I'm good. And then I was like, okay, maybe it's going to retest that other bearish order block. And I think that was the news candle.
What was the news candle? Because this is that big 4-hour candle, right? This is when you realize you were screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
Then it pulls back. So this was your first 15-minute bullish order block, right? After the pullback.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the order block that you used? Or was this the order block that you used? Or was this the order block you used? You see what I'm saying?
It was the second one.
So this is the order block you used.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is a better order block because one position in this order block, like I don't know how you use your order blocks, or like as far as the wick, did you use the wick of this?
Yeah, I used the wick on the 15-minute. Mm-hmm.
So this top one too?
No, when it's for a buy, I just use the bottom.
Okay. Okay, so your position, you would have had a long right here. $20 pip stop loss. Now, I don't know where your TP was, but 117 pips, probably doable. If I'm looking at this one position, this is almost a 6% gain if it goes to 117 pips. You see that?
Mhm.
Did you do this?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. At that point, I was fighting those
No,
sales
no,
points that I put in.
no. I want you to. Did you do this?
Yes.
So if you did do this, you had one position in.
At that point, I think I put in 2. When I closed this trade, I had in 4 or 5 buy positions.
No, listen, Selena. That's not what I'm asking you.
Okay, what are you asking?
I'm asking you when you got into this hedge or this position. How many positions did you put in? This was your first entry. You put in 1 or 2?
My first one, I put in 1.
So you had a 5% gain position on one. Where did you get your second one at?
At that second order block right there, the second bullish order block at the top. Because I was hoping in my
Right here.
brain, that it was going to sell back down to
This is a 14 pip stop loss. 7.2%. This trade right here is a 5.8%. Was 5.8 and 7.2.
12 point something.
So if this plays out, then you'll make 12 point something. And if you were down 2%, you still made 10%, right? So the only thing you have to worry about at this point is the pullback going below your stop losses. But if you have hedges in here, right, then you don't worry about that. So in my mind, I would be in great shape. Even though I was down, whatever, 2% or whatever, I wouldn't worry about it because we know that this is buying this week, right? So this, to me, you should have felt the same way. And I think this is going to go against you at some point, if I remember.
It does. Yeah, it does.
But this is where you have to have a better psyche. Like, you got to act like you've been here before. Man, Selena, that came real close. All right, I'm going to stop this right here just to talk to you about something. So, what if you took your profit here? Instead of holding out for 12.8 pips. This is where trade management comes in. What if you had took your profit here? So you didn't take your profit here, you'd have made with 6.8%. And what is this? Let me go to the hour. Let me see if it'll pop up. 5.46 and 6.8. What is that?
12.26.
Did you see 12.2%?
Are you saying that I make 12.2%?
Did you ever see it in your account? Like when you looked at your phone, did you ever see yourself up like this?
Yeah.
And this is 105 pips, man. This is this trade that we just talked about. If you got 2 positions, if you did it properly and if you did it like you told me you did it, this is what you saw. You were up 12.2%. So
I would have been if I had offset my hedge correctly.
No,
that's all I'm saying.
No. You would have been if you used the proper lot size.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Correct.
So what happened was you got scared and you were just putting in whatever lot size you wanted to that you felt comfortable with. And this is what I'm always on your ass about, pardon my French, because you are killing yourself instead of doing the right thing, the thing that you know to do, right? If you go in here and do what you know to do, even though it doesn't feel good, if you would put in the right lot size 2 times, just because you were down, you got scared. But if you did what you were supposed to do for these 2 order blocks, anybody on this call, if you get yourself this, if you do what you're supposed to do, you've made back whatever you lost right here. I didn't do the math. I mean, y'all see it just like I see it. It's 12 freaking %. 105 pips, done. You made back what you lost, even if you lost 3%, right? And you took this trade and you had got out right here, you made 8%. It's still a great week, right? You went from being down and screwing up your hedge to making your percent in the same freaking trade, the same, you know, maybe the same day or a few hours later. This is where we have to be. This is the area we need to be as a trader. You can't panic if the trade goes against you. It's going to happen. That's why the hedge is in. All right. Okay, the trade went against me. Now what? Okay, let me look and find an entry. All we did was find an entry after that retarded big candle. This retarded candle. We waited for it to pull back. Bam, we got our entry. We collected our money, even though it didn't go to the 117 pips, it went 105. We made our money. If we can be right here as traders, if we can get to this level, you'll never have a losing week. But you have to trust the process. You got to trust that if I do what I'm supposed to do, it's going to go my direction. So even though you jumped in and you got your butt kicked right here, this big long candle, it went against you. It would have went against me too. But the next thing you do is once you get your butt kicked, you wipe your face off. Okay, now I just need to look for buys. It gives you a pullback the next freaking candle. It gives you an entry right here that, like, God, this is where we want to be. Like this, it gave us exactly what we wanted to see, even though it went against our analysis. The analysis was, okay, it's going to pull back first, then it's going to go up. We didn't get the pullback we were looking for, but we got the up move. Now let's just get in and ride it. 100 pips and we're done. Y'all see that? I mean, who does everybody understand that?
Yes. Oh, I understand. Yes, this is Rosa. But okay, when it goes against her and she going up for the buy, what about the sale? Does she when does she close it, or she keeps it open, or does she close it? The sale
I don't
position.
understand that question. The sale?
Yeah, like she's in the sale. She wanted a sale.
That's a good question. So Rosa, Selena doesn't fool with it. She just lets it ride, right? I would personally close the sale, but Selena does it a little bit. Once she's in that hedge, once she zeroes it out, she acts like that position doesn't exist anymore, right? So in that position, she's going to have one in profit and one in the red, but it doesn't matter because those positions are going to cancel themselves out. She's still going to be down her 2% or whatever she was down in those 2 positions. These positions are going to be the ones that are actually making you money. I personally would have closed my sell out, but Selena, explain how you do your hedge, please.
Okay, so what I do is when I do it correctly, I have, so in this position, if I would have had my sale and where it went wrong, I would have had my hedge pick up. So my sale would have been, say I had a 0.1 standard lot size of 1, and then my buy would have been a 1 as well. And I would have had it at me losing 1%. That's where my hedge would have been picked up.
But in this case, you would have lost, let's just say you lost 2%, 2.5%.
I would have lost, okay, 2%. Okay, so it would have been 2% that I would have lost. I would have, when my hedge picked up, okay, I forget about those 2 positions because they cancel each other out. What that means is instead of me just having a sell position in and it hit my stop loss at that 2.5%, my hedge picked up and I'm still going to lose 2.5% if I let that position run all week. That's never going to change. I'm going to lose that 2.5%. So to keep me calm and not have to worry about that hedge anymore, I forget that position, those two positions exist. That just means I lost 2.5% off of those two positions. Okay, just let it run till I decide to close it. Then I start looking for positions in the direction where the market is going, like Todd was saying. Those two positions, if I had my hedge correctly, I would have put in 2 additional buy positions, not worrying about those other positions, and just let this run until I made my profit. Then I would have closed out my buy, and then I would have closed out that hedge. I would have lost 2.5% on that initial 2 entries, but I would have made that 12%
on these,
on the other side. Yeah. So that's how I do it, because I can't manage the hedge the way Todd can yet, but I know that if I put my hedge in correctly, no matter what, I'm going to lose that percentage. Oh, well, okay, no harm, no foul. Then I start looking for other positions to make money off of. But I didn't do that this time. What I did was say I had a standard lot size of 1, but I was so confident in that this was going to sell instead of paying attention in what the market is showing me. I'm like, oh no, it's going to retrace to this and then sell down or whatever. So I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So I had a standard lot size of 1, and then I put in a hedge of 0.5. Mistake number 1. So whenever that was my mistake. But if I would have did it the way I normally do it, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now, and I would have made my 10%. Does that make sense the way I said that?
Yes, I understand now why you did it like that. Okay.
So basically what you're saying about your hedge is, it's like 2 tiers in a bucket.
Yep, that's all it is, because it doesn't matter, because hey, those that sell in that buy position, they're going to offset each other. It's going to be a 2% loss. I'm gonna let it run all week, or until I make the profit that I need to make on this pair, and then I close them all out, and then I don't worry about it. But I will say, when I do close it out, because Todd told me one time how my Forex violated him, I close them out a little bit at a time. And so that way I don't just hit X at one time.
Well, you got to close the blue out before you close the red.
Right. That you got to definitely close the blue before you close out the
2 tiers in a
before
bucket.
whatever's in blue, you close that out first.
But do you see how even when your stuff went haywire, if you would just calm down and look for your and put the lot size you were supposed to based off of these position sizes, you would have won.
Yep, absolutely. Would have tore it up.
So does everybody see that? This is very important. Like this is where back testing turns you into a beast, right? Because I think everybody can understand how the trade initially went against her right here, right? She was kind of premature. She got in, and then the trade went against her. That's going to happen. It happens to everybody. The mistake after the trade went against her was being all flabbergasted, like just act like we've all lost trades, or act like trades have went against us. Take a few deep breaths and say, okay, now we can buy this up. Leandra pointed out as well that this trade went into the order block, right? So if you understand what's around you as a trader, and maybe you got to drop down to this 1 hour or whatever. If you can look over here and you can see like things that might stop your trade as it goes up, maybe your take profits can mirror, what might stop your trade over here. So just be cognizant of where you can put your take profits, or where you might have to take your profit as this trade pushes up. Or if you're watching it and you see this trade stalling out, pull the trigger. Don't don't give up 105 pips just because you're trying to get 118. It's not worth it. Like you made your percentage already. All you're trying to do is get this bonus. Once you've made 12, you're up 12%. Come on, man. I mean, you got to take your profit. Okay, so I really appreciate your honesty there, Selena. And I want y'all to understand, I'm not trying to pick on you guys or put you guys out there. What I'm trying to do is help you understand, even on your worst trade day or you make your mistake, if you can just put it to the side, you know, the goodness is is right after that. Like the way we trade, it's either going to go one way or the other. And the only mistake here was we were just premature trying to sell it, you know, on that higher time frame. But once it shot the other direction, it's fine. Now we just take it the other direction. I've been wrong a billion times. Oh, it's going to buy and it sells, but I'm gonna still make money when it sells because I know what I'm looking for. If you selling, like if it crossed over and started selling, all I got to do is drop down on the 15-minute and get me a sell position. Easy. You know, I'm still going to get 100 pips when it sells. You know, and in this case, I thought it was going to sell down 100 pips, but it fooled us. It shot up. So when it pulled back, now I'm just waiting on the buy, the bullish order blocks. I know I'm gonna get 100 pips to the top side. You give me 100 pips, I'm gonna get my 10%. And I want everybody to understand how that works, you know. And if I can be 100% honest with y'all, I would have made my 10% probably in 50 pips on this one because I'm a type of dude. I'm getting 2 positions initially. I'm getting 2. Then when it gives me this bullish, I'm getting a 3rd. You know, then by the time I'm 75 pips up, I'm way up. You know, I probably could have closed this trade out right here because I'm not playing. I want to get my money and I want to get out the market, right? Especially after the market cooked me, you know, on that initial surge. I'm going to get my money right back. And because this is the way I trade, I'm very comfortable. Once I see these stacked order blocks, I already know. They're not, the market doesn't stack the order blocks just to go kill them. It's stacking those order blocks telling you that we're pushing up. So, man, the first the first few times that we do this, you know, hopefully you guys are writing this stuff down, right? Because the first few times that you do this, you get that aha moment, right? Even when you lose, you're like, dang, man, it still went my direction. So this is a prime example of how you can still take your trade. You know, it went with our analysis for the week that we're going to go up. But this is a prime example of how you can take your trade, even if it goes against you, even if it does something that you're not expecting it to do, and you can make your percentage still within that trade. You guys have any questions on this one?
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
My question is, when you say you know what to do after it actually turns around on you, which means you're in a cell, and in that cell, you're risking 1%.
Right.
Now you're looking for your buy bullish OBs on the 15-minute, and
Right.
you're entering twice.
Right.
Does that mean you each?
That's 2 more percent.
Exactly. So now you're at 3%. You're risking 3%.
Yes, I do. Now I'm
Okay.
not telling you to do it. You're a beginner.
Yes.
I'm just telling you how I do it, right?
Okay.
So all you would need to do is risk 1% for that additional position. And once it goes into profit, let me show you. Once this position went into profit, it gives you another order block here. You could have moved this stop loss, right? Or this hedge position, you could have put a stop loss at entry. Now you can risk another 1%, and you still just risking 2%. You see it?
Yes.
That's how you do it as a beginner. I'm just telling you how I do it because this is how I've been trading forever, right? There are 1,000 different ways to skin a cat. But the point is, once the trade is going your direction, right? And even when you put this to break even, that other position, if you know how to cut the hedge off, you're no longer 1% down because you've been cutting that hedge off. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of how you approach the trade. You guys hear me sometimes say, do you have the answers to the questions before the trade? Those are some of the questions that you have to go over in your mind. If this goes against me, what is my, my strategy to get out of this hedge? Selena's strategy is to forget the hedge and trade these other positions like she doesn't have the hedge, which is fine, right? I had never heard of that crap in my life, but it works for her, which is cool. But for me, once the trade starts going the opposite direction, I'm just going to cut off my sell position little by little. And as the trade goes up, I'm not going to be down 1% in that original position anymore, right? So technically, I wouldn't have been risking 3%. I would have been risking less than that. But, just for argument's sake, yes, I would be risking 3% because I know that this is going to the top side. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay, I didn't want to steal. I'm sorry, Angie, for stealing this GJ.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you.
I kind of forgot that this was that trade that Selena, kind of had my blood pressure up. Does anybody did anybody take GN? I mean, not GN. GF. Leandro, you say you traded UJ. You want to share? I mean, it would be nice, if at some point everybody can kind of share their stuff, because this is where the learning is going to take place.
You want me to share?
Well, if you want to talk about it, that's fine. I don't think anybody else is dying to share. FX journal sheet. Go ahead, Leandro. You got your stuff automated, yeah. Hey, but where is my automated sheet, man?
You have to make one for yourself.
Did you send? How come you didn't send it to me?
Not everyone gets that privilege.
You said what?
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Those who celebrate it.
Hello.
So I did UJ, and I took the sell. Well, I was in for a buy, and then I noticed that it was going down for a sell, and it wasn't going to reach this 4-hour order block, bearish order block. So I took it down for the sell instead, which I held it since Tuesday, and it only started to drop on Wednesday. So I did hold it for that long period of time. So this is on the weekly. Oh yeah, because I was expecting it to fill this imbalance still from 2 weeks ago. I thought price was going to fill this imbalance, but it didn't. And plus, when I put on the MA, a red MA was around this area. So this orange box is my 50% of the fib. But it just never came there. So I think on the daily, yeah, I think it was on the daily. I think it was on the daily. I saw price wasn't coming to this 50% area, and it was going down for a sell. It might have been on a lower time frame. Oh, it might have been on the 12-hour. Because on the 12-hour, it's got this bearish order block,
and then I was waiting for these two candles to show their faces, but they never did. So why went in for the sell? I think I just went in for the sell because it didn't come. Yeah, I think, yeah, because when I kept on going down time frames, it was just this bearish order block and it kept on getting respected. And those other order blocks, I didn't know what they were doing, but I just knew it was going to sell. I'm opposing to buy in. But there's still an imbalance here that could have been filled. That's why I was also going in for that buy, but I thought this was a pullback, but it just never. Why did I knew it was going to sell? It's still gone down a lower time frame. It was at MAs, but I just knew it was going to sell, and it sold. Yeah, and I got my profit. But then I didn't know it was going to shoot all the way down because this area, because this is a 30-minute bullish order block. I think it was expected on the 15 minute. Yeah, it slightly did. On the 15 minute, I thought price was going to pull back up and this was going to be respected, but it wasn't. It just kept on going down to this. This must be. Got a line here, so I think it might be a lower time frame order block. Hold on. I think there's a lower time frame order block. I can't remember why. I put price there. Because I put this blue box here because that's the high of this bullish order block wick. So I thought price might respect this area because it's technically the high of the 4-hour bullish order block. So I thought price might respect this area, but it didn't. It decided to go straight down. And I was actually meant to set my take profit lower or move it, but then it took me out because it was going down so fast. It just took me out, and I came out in profit, so that was good. And then price continued to sell, and then I like my lower time frames, so I went down to the 15 minute and took a few more sells as well. This one didn't go quite as well, but price did continue for the next till Thursday to go down, but this was my take profit area because it's a bullish monthly order block, this blue box here. Yeah, so monthly bullish order block, so that would have been my overall take profit area, which price did hit in the end on that day, on Wednesday. But yeah, that's the only trade I took for the week. And I think I took a buy on US 30, but that's about it. Any questions, anyone? Silence.
That was a horrible setup, a horrible trade. No, I'm joking, Landry. Thanks. Your charts are hard on my eyes, though.
Why?
Just the color. Of
Why?
Your candles, man. I don't know why people mess with the candle colors.
It's black and white.
Yeah, I don't. I just for
Or
me,
gray and black.
for me, the red and the green was.
Todd, youthful eyes are able to see.
Yeah, I know. That's what it is.
I cannot
don't
see
have
anything other than black and white either.
Really? Oh, let's change it.
I would actually, how you had it a little while, I would prefer to read it that way.
Is that better?
Yeah, I guess it is. The black is the
Negative.
Yes,
there's
they have this has to do with obscene systems.
Green is the positive.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. You don't have to change it for me. I'm just, like for me, whenever I look at other people's charts, like Elfie does the same thing. I just be like, man, I can't follow. And then like you change the color scheme on your long and short positions to where the background is too light for me, But it's just always interesting to see how other people have their stuff marked. I just leave mine as the original, I guess.
Well, we're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, are we? So yeah, that's the.
I am, but you're not.
Beg to differ. But yeah, that's the trade that I took today. Thank you, Tasha. She likes the black, the white and black.
Yeah, whatever.
I think it's just clean, especially when I add all the rest of the colors and everything. Everything just gets too much.
Does it? Are you making your 10% with your black and white?
Well, I did, but then that's the problem. Father, I've come to confess in confessional today.
What happened?
I got a bit overzealous on the last trade.
What do you mean? So you made your 10% and you kept trading?
I wrote it down.
So you made
I actually did something different this week.
You made 10%, but you kept trading?
No, because you said once you have your overall higher time frame trade, which this one was my overall higher time frame trade, and then I was meant to move the take profit further down, possibly to here. So what was that? 79. So I was meant to move the take profit to here, but then it took me out so fast. I wasn't able to. Or I think
I didn't take you out so fast.
No, I think I put in the wrong take profit because I couldn't. I don't know why. I must have put in the wrong take profit. I missed out.
I don't know why either.
I missed out by like one number because I thought I put it in right, and then when I was like, wait, where's my trade gone? And then it took me out in profit, but I was a bit annoyed about that because I wanted to hold it down because then I didn't have to put in the extra trades. So this was my higher time frame trade, and then you said get in for the lower time frame trades on the 15-minute. So
that's the same take profit.
Huh?
At the same take profit.
What do you mean?
So if your initial entry is on the 4 hour, right?
And
your take profit is wherever it is, you leave the take profit the same, and you just find an entry on the 15-minute to the same take profit that you were using for your 4 hour. Your risk is going to be a lot better on that 15-minute entry.
What? What do you mean?
Well, go back.
So what? I'm at the 4 hour now. What do you mean?
So where's your initial trade, sir?
Here.
So where's your take profit?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you drop down to the 15-minute, I don't know how that's your take profit on the 4 hour, but that's cool. You drop down
Because
to
that's
15.
a 4-hour order block. That's a 4-hour
listen,
bullish order block.
At least take it to the bottom. Is that 100 pips?
It was 79.
Well, that's
because,
not really, that's not good. I never have a 79 pip trade. I don't
Yeah,
think you've seen me do that.
yeah, but if the price respected this area and it bounced back up, at least I got my profits.
But Leandra, you can't make up your own stuff.
I'm not making
You can do it, but you can't get the same results. You're not going to get the same results if you just make up your own stuff.
What do you mean make up my own stuff? I'm not making up anything.
On the 4 hour, if I take a trade on that 4 hour chart, show me the one I've taken that's not 100 pips.
Pardon?
I mean, why? There's never been a trade set up that's not 100 pips on that 4 hour chart.
Yeah, so I took it from here.
You did yourself an injustice. So if you had taken,
Yeah, I know it did, because I said I was meant to hold the trade down to possibly hit. Well, here was meant to be my take profit, but then when I saw it took me out of the trade, I was like, wait, that's strange. And then I must have put in the wrong take profit number, and I was like, oh snap, it's taking me out. But it's fine anyway, because it took me out in profit. So I just waited till I saw another setup.
right, but so you said you got it from me as far as the setup, right? So so if you extend it out to where I would have taken my profit right down there, right? Now, if you drop down to the 15-minute, you find your second position based on the 15-minute bearish order block to that same take profit.
Well, was I gonna get in here? Oh, the reason why I didn't get in here is because I didn't know if price was going to respect this bullish order block. So I decided just to leave this same trade in.
Quick question, Leandra, you got stopped out? Because where did you enter?
Where did I enter?
And then you entered?
Sorry, say that again, please, Misha.
No, I was wondering because I see the wick like it took out the stop loss. Then you got stopped out and then re-entered?
Oh, I didn't set a stop loss.
Oh, okay.
Because this 4-hour bearish OB, it would have been respected because there's a 15-minute, I don't know if you can see that. There's a 15-minute bearish OB here. So even if price went up, I know it's still going to come back down. But that's why I was in a buy, and then I got out the buy because I was like, no, this is going down for sure. So I got in for the sell instead, and then I just set a TP. I didn't set a stop loss. So I was just going in and out of profit. I was going in and profit.
So if you had added a 15-minute position in there, you would have made a killing. So you see that one up there where it almost stopped you out, or it hit the stop loss on this particular setup, but it gave you a 15-minute right there. No, go up. No, I mean leave the stop loss alone, but move the position up.
Where? To here? To here?
I would move it higher than that.
To where?
Keep going up to you see a 15-minute bearish order block. It's up there in the red.
Where are you? Where, that little one here?
Yes.
I wouldn't get in for that. If I'm waiting for, I thought your strategy is wait for the higher time frame
to go in profit.
To go into profit.
Yeah, generally I would. I would also have moving averages. But the point is there's been times where I have had a setup like this that pushed up and I got a better position and it dropped and I made a lot more money.
I know. I was thinking to get in for a better position.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what they call the martingale strategy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I know, but because my account's already in drawdown,
Yeah,
I don't want to over risk. I'd rather just
and here's the difference. I'm glad you said that.
Profit and then look for a 15-minute order block of bearish order, then get into a position. I'm not going to be overzealous about the trade.
I agree, and that's why you should do the right thing at the beginning of the week. And let's say you would have made 12% on your position. Now you can take a 2% trade, and you can risk it on a position like this. And if you lose it, you lost your 2%, and you still end the week up 10%. Does that make sense?
No, kind of not really.
Okay, but don't worry about it.
Well, that's what I did down here, because this one I didn't know if price was going to respect or not, so I thought I'm going to leave it, and then it just shot straight down. So I was like, that would have just been literally perfect. And I thought, I'm not going to get in on a 5-minute, because price could easily pull back on this candle to fill it.
You can do it again, Kyra. You can do it again.
Kyra, who's Kyra?
This happens every week. It doesn't matter. What I need to say to you, Leandra, or the frustrating thing about you is, well, hold on. Let me finish. Don't get all huffy. You didn't set your initial position up correctly, and you cost yourself, I don't know how many percent. Because if you, this is a 7.38%, but you only caught 79 pips of this, which was, what percentage did you catch off of this one move?
Wrote it down. Actually, I didn't write the percentages down. I just write how much I'm gonna lose.
But if you move it back up to 79 pips, you'll see the percentage. And this is what I need everybody to understand as traders. If we don't put the proper risk, if we don't assign the proper lot size to these trades, that's a 3%. So you just threw away 4%. Over the long run, guys, over the long run, if you do this for a month and you miss out on this position, or you miss out on that, you'll look back and you'll have thrown away 80%. 80 freaking percent. That's a lot of money. And it's a lot of unnecessary risk, right? If everybody agrees that the more trades that you take, the more chances you have of losing money, you want to maximize your opportunities in these trades. That's why I try to harp on the, hey man, just get 2 positions in the same trade, same one trade this week. If you get 2 positions in that same one trade and it goes 100 pips, you win. 2 positions, 1 trade, 10%, week is done. Yeah, there are 1,000 other opportunities out there, but you just need one. You need 1 trade. You need 2 positions, you're done. 10%. And most of the time it's going to be over. You see how it's 12% or 13%, right? You just need 1 trade. And if you can just practice going into the week and say, okay, this is my trade setup. I just need this trade, this 1 trade to give my, it's going to happen, guys. It happens every week, man. Every week. I do this every week. I'm not special. I'm not anything. I don't do anything. I'm not a great trader. 1,000 times I've said, man, this is going to go up and it goes down. Or, hey, man, this is going to go down and it goes up. It happens to me all the time. The only thing that I have is a strategy that works. I hedge instead of use a stop loss. That saves me when it goes against me. Then I'm able to drop down to the 15-minute, get 2 positions, and go my 100 pips. It's a wrap. I'm done. Now I've won my money. That's all. That's it. And I just try to stress. I can't stress it enough that this is just like I do it. You guys, it's available for you guys to do the same thing. And I get it. It's a little bit uncomfortable. But that's the importance of you guys sharing your charts and going through your trades, because once you start doing it, you start seeing it. It's not me pulling up a chart showing you, it's you actually pulling it and seeing it on your chart. And that's going to be the difference between where you are now as a trader and where you will be in a month or 2 months, as a trader. It's just a matter of you seeing it and then you anticipating it on your charts. Like, guys, this is available to all of us every freaking week. Every week. And I'm glad that other people are catching it. Like Kyra caught it. I know Tasha has found success in it. Oh man, this is the best way that I've discovered to turn me into a consistent trader. And I'm not even trying to get jiggy with it at this point. Like, I'm doing the basic stuff, right? So every week we have this meeting, and then we have the market breakdown. And I always give you guys like 2 trades. Okay, these are what I'm looking at. You don't have to take my trade setup, but generally speaking, whenever I give you my trade setup, I take one of those 2 trade setups and I make my 10% and I'm done. So I would encourage you guys, show up at this meeting. Yeah, listen, but more importantly, share, right? Share what you had, what you experienced the prior week, right? Even if it's full of mistakes, man, because the learning happens during those mistakes. And once you iron out, those mistakes, now you're making profit. And it's something that you can duplicate. So it's going to make you consistent. All right, that's enough about, I'll get off my soapbox. But I just want everybody to experience the same thing that I experienced. Like, this is, we're all capable of the same thing. And it's available to us every week. But anyway, go ahead. Are you finished, Leandra?
Well, I was. Congratulations, Kyra. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thanks, Todd. That was your idea.
No, listen, man. I mean, you're welcome, but it's not just. Look, I might suggest a trade, but those trades are set. I mean, we all recognize the order blocks. I just tell you which one that I see. Based on maybe, I think that week UJ had ran like 700 pips or something, and we caught a retracement, right?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, but like all this stuff is, if I got hit by a car tomorrow, the thought process is that anybody on this call can go do the same thing. Maybe you can't talk about it at this point, like I talk about it, but you can recognize the trade setup and you can say, okay, I think this is going to this position. That's all that this requires, right? Once you have a directional bias, then you're getting in the trade. If you use those moving averages, man, those moving averages are going to keep you on the right side of the trade for your 100 pips. That's it. So
is it a buy trade, Kyra?
You broke up a little bit. What did you say?
Yeah, buy trade.
Yes, for UJ. Back, it was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, almost.
I don't think it was back. It was back 14th. Then. So yeah, it was
October.
After that big drop.
It was on
October.
No, it was this month.
There was a UJ trade from last week Monday.
No, it was November.
Yeah, so last week Monday.
Here.
Yep.
Leandra traded US30 this week.
It was the one that we all caught, but you was trading US30, Leandra.
No, I'm asking how she traded US30 this week.
No, I did catch this one. Did I? I can't remember.
No, I think you was trading US30 today.
No, I wasn't. I haven't traded US30 that If I traded US 30, I probably would have already passed by now. Instead, I'm doing this
Okay, maybe you would have.
odd strategy.
Maybe you would have. I think you would have passed the challenge and probably blown the account.
Oh
But
my God.
trade this strategy. You're gonna pass the challenge, and you'll keep it.
I haven't passed it yet, and I keep on losing.
Well,
so.
listen. Hold on, Leandra. You didn't pass it because you chose not to put the position in there.
Well, I did put the position in there.
Whoa. You didn't put it properly.
Whoa.
You didn't put it properly.
Well, I was safe.
No, I'm not asking you to be safe. I'm asking you to do the right thing.
Well, what I did, I put the two positions.
We can't make it up, guys. We have to follow the rules. You can't make up your own rules and expect to succeed.
Yeah, but I don't hedge, so that's why I guess I could have at that stage, but
Hey man, any excuse, we can make excuses or we can make a way. That's all.
not excuses. It's not excuses.
So do the right thing.
Trade what I see.
All right, guys. So what time?
Did you say that AJ was going down?
Oh man, yeah. I thought AJ and NJ were both going down, but
yeah. And then what happened?
Huh?
What happened?
Well, I mean, the market happened. I mean, sometimes they go up and sometimes they go down. But I think one of them will go down this week, and the other one, I don't think that. But it doesn't matter. There are plenty of. I still made 10% last week. Did you? I mean, I think the percentages were there. GJ and GF were the pair that I gave you guys last week. All we had to do was take these trades. You know what I'm saying? So in that trade setup right there, you got a 3% trade. If you would drop down in the 15-minute, I mean, you made all kinds of riches. Look at that.
Did the week start? This only started to go. So the best entry would have been Wednesday.
No. Look at right where you have your trade set up. I want you to go in there and I want you to do another tool on either one. There's two bullish order blocks that are back to back right there. Just throw your position tool on and see what you would have made. I see 1, 2. I mean, it's like 5 bullish order blocks that they're going up right before that thing went up. That's not where I'm talking about, Leandra. Go up.
You said there's 5 bullish order blocks.
Well, it is, but what I'm saying is your entry is still, entry needs to be higher. You see any of those bullish order blocks right there?
One here.
No, inside your green position, Leandra.
Yeah, this is inside the green position. This one is inside the green position.
No, I'm talking about the green. No, don't do that.
This is the green position.
Leave your green position. See, now move the little one inside the big green position.
He's talking about to your right, like Andrew, this current week's order blocks, not like go over. Yes.
I know, but
inside the green section.
This is where I would have possibly entered. So
I'm not talking about where you would have
technically started over here. So all of
I don't care about that. What I'm saying is put your little one in there where the price went flat, right there. What is that risk? What is that reward for that? If you would move your stop loss up to the order block. What is that right there, Leandra?
It's a lot of money. That's what.
But God dog, what position? And I think that's wrong because I think your entry is still a little bit off. I think that.
How?
Well, because you would have had to. Your entry would be at the top of that black candle, not at the bottom of the black candle. and your stop loss will be at the bottom of that black candle. There you go, 20%. So I rest my case, guys. Like this right here, I don't have to sell you on this, right? I'm just going to tell you like this. This is how I trade. And if you want the same results, this is all you have to do, right? And I don't want to oversimplify it, right? I understand people have nerves. Forget your nerves. We've all lost, right? I mean, at this point, you might just be a consistent loser. Try this out. Try it out, man. Like, I'm not making this up. I'm sharing it because it freaking works. You don't even have to get that 20% trade. You can get 18%. You can get 16% off one position you could have got on most of these order blocks going across. All I'm trying to help you guys to understand is it works. And it's not me just saying, you got to go back test these moves. Every time we call a move, this is all we have to do. So anywho, yeah, I mean, y'all have any questions?
How would you combat greed then?
Why would I what?
How would you attack greed or
So
revenge?
this is how I attack my greed, Leandra. Once this trade is over, I'm done. Right? So you're either going to trade until you blow your account, or you're going to be satisfied with your results. If you're not satisfied making 10% a week, if you told somebody you're making 10% a week, they look at you like you had a horn growing out your head. Nobody makes 10% a week. That's what they tell you. This allows you to be that person. And if you just quit after that, you quit. It's kind of like you having a spouse or a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You know, how do you combat greed? You know, which is one person ever going to be enough? You have to answer that yourself. All of trading is an exercise in personal discipline, right? The same way you make yourself go to bed at night. You don't stay up forever. At some point, you go to sleep. Like whenever you left your parents' house, or whenever your parents stopped coming in saying good night and cutting off your light, at some point, we all had to decide what time we were going to go to bed. And most of us stayed up as long as we could. And then when we had to get up the next morning, it made us say, okay, I got to go to bed earlier, right? It's the same with trading. Once you lose enough, you're going to decide, I'm tired of being a loser. I want to be a winner. You know, if this dude is showing me an opportunity to win, like you have this position to, how many pips is this trade right here?
Which one? The first one or the second one?
Well, this entire green area.
So that's
117 pips. If I'm showing you, you know, if Ruby would have taken me and showed me how to make 20% in 100 pips when I first started trading, I would have never ever traded any different way. You understand what I'm saying? So that's all I'm trying to say is, man, I'm trying to show you how you can make 10% every week in a 100 pip move. And we catch those moves. I'm not telling you got to keep your trade running for 117 of those pips. You could have cut this trade off at 60 pips. More than likely, you would have had your percentage. My point is, it's the 10% a week is real. And it's a goal that I've had, right? Yeah, there's plenty of opportunity for me to try to make 50. But I don't want to blow my account. I'm trying to make 50%. You know what I'm saying? So the point is, you have to decide where your profit taking stops and your greed starts. That's an individual thing. I can't tell you. I can just tell you how I do it. You know, maybe you'll get on here and say you make 30% a week. And maybe that works for you. But you guys have to decide, you know, as individuals, what's good enough for you. I know some people who would have said, I'm putting 3 positions in here, I'm making my 60%. But, you know, I mean, would you risk 3% if you can make 60? Most people probably would, you know. But, you know, at some point, I'm going to have to to open myself up to that. But because I've had this incredible run, I don't feel compelled to be any more greedy, right? Like, because when I think about this, it blows my mind.
Mm.
So you guys will have to do the same thing on an individual basis. You know, just like when, you know, I was telling Selena, I showed Selena how she could have corrected her trade. Your emotions run high in trading. So you have to find a way to kind of turn those off. Because if you see a 20-to-1 trade setup, you might, well, I'm risking 4%. And the worst thing that happened to you is you'll win this trade, like you would have won this. Now, every week, you're going to look for a 20% trade setup. 10% is never going to be good enough. So at least that's how my greed works.
Yeah, I think for the last trade, which really like messed up my account, like I didn't go through the same process as the previous two, which was like write it down in my notebook and work out the risk to reward. I just entered.
Right. I think we all
where I went wrong. But I wrote that down in my journal anyway.
Right. I think it's just something that we all have to deal with, you know, and I don't know the right answer. So you guys are going to have to kind of figure out your right answers for yourselves, you know, but you know, every time we come here, every week that we come here, I want to be able to show each other how we could have made our goal, right? Like, even if we didn't make it, even if we lost money, you know, we need to go back and look and understand that we might have lost money, but we could have made the money by doing X, Y, and Z. And pretty soon, this exercise will be the same exercise that you go through on your regular trades throughout the week. Like, you already know what you want to see. We knew that we wanted to see GF turn bullish. We didn't know what day or what time, but once it did turn bullish, then we had an opportunity to make our money. And that's the important thing, right? Just understanding what we're looking for and then taking advantage, you know, of that move.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
All right. Do we have any questions, you know, so we can get into the weekly analysis?
I think Terrence was going to share, Todd, unless you do, because we've been
Are you going to share,
Terrence?
I can if y'all still want me to, or we can move on.
No, you can share.
Okay. Can y'all see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. So that, if I'm not mistaken, I'm Terrence. I made 4% this week. I very easily could have made 10%. I got impatient. So
Congratulations.
I believe my original position was based off this 4-hour order block. But when I looked at the 6-hour time frame, we got, oh yeah, there you can see my original position. It's in there, it's small. That wasn't my take profit, but that's why I was originally trying to get in based off this 4-hour order block. But then when this 6-hour made a bearish order block, then I was confused and thinking that, you know, maybe I should get out. So I'm not sure exactly what we're supposed to do at that point, Todd. When we see a 6-hour going in the opposite direction, but probably based on the moving averages, I should have known I was fine.
I think you should have known you were fine, but I mean, it still eventually crossed over the moving averages. and could have had you thinking it was going south. But for me, it would have had
Right.
to break that 6 hour order block going down. You know what I'm saying?
Over here,
Yeah.
they would have had to break this structure right here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, and it was late. It was like 2 a.m. I think me and Hope got out at this point. But
and I think this was the night after I said it was going to buy. Or this is the night?
No, this is the first time.
Okay.
This was off the original first 4 hour order block. That formed pretty quickly in the week. The second time is when I actually got in.
Okay, that second. Okay.
I dropped down to the 2 hour. I got in here, and this is how I made the 4%. I got in off this 2 hour order block right here.
Okay.
And it tapped in. I bought it up. Now, listening to you talk to Leandra, I should have had this much higher.
Yeah, 69 pips. What's up with the 69 pip then?
Okay, so I was just looking at back-to-back 4 hour order blocks here.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's not a big deal. And plus, this was probably going into the Thanksgiving, I would think.
Yeah, it was. This was was the second time you called it out, so it was Wednesday.
Okay, yeah.
All right, it was late Tuesday night going into Wednesday, so that's why.
Okay.
But I mean, what you saying? Are you saying the pip count should be 100 pips, even if you find resistance to the left, like 4 hour order blocks to the left?
Yeah, but the original. So your position should have started from the bottom. You see where double bottom down there?
Yeah, it should have been down here.
Yeah. So that's where you want to get your 100 pips from.
Gotcha. Yeah. So this is correct. It just I got in too late. Got in halfway.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I'm not supposed to ignore these order blocks up here.
Well, listen, I wouldn't have. I mean, I think that where you took profit was fine, but for different reasons, right? My taking profit there is more about the holiday than anything else, But if this week was different, I would have ignored that. I would have tried to get 100 pips from this order block.
Wow. Okay. And then the other thing I took was you spoke about AJ. And I was able to do this one on the 4 hour. Now, again, I had my take profit at this 4 hour order block down here, but it crossed over the moving averages here.
Right.
It created a 4 hour bearish order block. It tapped back in. It sold down. I actually missed this take profit by those couple of wicks.
Now, did you manually take it out?
So when I woke up, so I did this overnight. When I woke up the next morning, it was back up to this area.
Did you take profit?
I took profit here. And then it did all of this. So I'm glad I got out. So I made a little bit, but not as much as I was hoping to make. Yeah, I just got wicked out. I mean,
that right there, that's happened to me so many times that almost will make you break your phone right there. I'm serious, man. Especially if you got a good size lot size in there.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing I'm not that I haven't done is the 15-minute second position. So the 4% I made was just off of original positions.
Right. And if you would have got a smaller stop loss, you could have really revved up those profits. But I think that's still good, because you have to see it at some point. Like really, this is just about recognizing the opportunity. Once you recognize the opportunity, you can drop down.
Well, would you have like based on these 15-minute bearish order blocks, like where would you have
so
I thought the idea was
well, you wouldn't have got it. You wouldn't have gotten it on that red, where all those red candles. There's no way you could have gotten a second entry. Your second entry would have had to come in while it was still in the red. See where it pulled back? But some trades happen like that.
Here?
But others, some trades happen like this where you won't get a second entry. But for the most part, like if this had been a weekly move, you would have definitely, been able to get a second entry. This AJ just never sold off like I thought it was. Like I thought it was going to sell and keep selling. So,
Gotcha.
I don't know what the deal was. And I think now either one of those are going to buy. Let me see. I don't even have it written down.
Well, help me on the if you don't mind, help me on the TP. Like where was your original?
Well, listen,
process for
you would have had the TP right where you did. But if this was going to sell, like squeeze your chart together. In fact, go to the daily. Okay, so you see the bottom of those wicks?
These?
Yeah.
Or these? Or which ones you talking about?
So you see how it pushed into that daily bearish order block, that red candle with the wick? The red, that one right there. The wick, the bottom wick of that red candle. That's where I would have TP'd.
Gotcha.
The market has already been there, right? If the market has been there and his wick is showing you that it's going to go there again. So when, if and when this thing ever sells, you can get that TP out of it, right? But I just don't know if it's going to freaking sell. Like I've been thinking that this was going to sell forever, and it's just been wicking out, right? It's riding those moving averages. It's not going above it. It's wicking out, going above it. So I mean, if I could have bet anything on it, especially with that bearish order block right there, I thought that this was going to sell, man. I was sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's just one of those things. And this is what I mean by I've been wrong a million times, because there's nothing that anybody could have told me that day that I thought that this was going to sell and I was going to make a killing. And then it just never did, So.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I think, there's a difference between putting your TP in while you're trying to get a few hours of sleep and then actually being up to like
exactly. But I've just learned just to get up, and you know what? Before this war started, I slept a lot better and I slept a lot more during trades because we didn't have the type of bull crap. Like it's a lot of choppiness in the market since this war. So you just have to kind of be cognizant of where you are. That's why I don't like trading through the moving averages while I'm asleep. I like to have some space. If I have some space, I'm good. Or if the trade goes in profit, a certain amount, then I'm good. I'll go to sleep. But for the most part, I'm up during London session because of that.
Gotcha. So what did you advise my sister on when she let them 200 pips walk off the table?
For what, GJ?
Yeah.
Man, I mean, we talked about it, man. Like she got flustered. You can't, you got to leave your emotions. You got to check your emotions. Yeah, you're disappointed, but you can't get so emotional that you stop paying attention to because the chart gave her exactly what she was trying to get. You know what I'm saying? It just gave it to her in the opposite direction. I mean, that big green news candle happened. It pulled right back after that candle. And she could have got an entry and she'd have made 12%. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I mean, it's not about you. Like a lot of times we make trading about, I want to be right. I don't care about being right. I'm going to have a bias naturally. I'm going to say it's going to buy, but I don't care if it sells. Just give me a good setup because I'm a sell. I can click sell just like I can click buy, and I think we should all be like that as traders. You just have to be like, you got to be spineless, man. You got to be like a salamander. You got to be flexible because you can be thinking buy, but if the chart's set up and sell, you got to be able to sell it. I mean, that's as I guess as transparent as I can be. It's not really about you being right. It's just about you recognizing your setup on the chart.
We can't hear you, Todd, unless you on mute.
Yeah, I was talking to my sister-in-law.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But I was just gonna replace it, but I'm not that bougie at Sprouts. It's Sprouts.
But I think they sell it. I don't know if they sell the purple one at Target, but I've seen the red one at Target.
Yeah, I asked that dude at Walmart. He said they did have it, and I said, where? Oh, we ain't got none.
Are you still recording?
Yeah, of course. So, do you guys have any questions over anything we covered so far? Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. I'm going to end the